What is up, risk takers? Welcome to the Kill Pete strategy, and welcome to Free Pete. And one of the things we're doing on Free Pete is our Q&A show. This is the very dead end of the season. I'm playing an unranked game on my torture fixed capital settings, so we can hang out and answer all of the questions. We got a brilliant Star Trek question in the chat from Mary's the Fox. Folks, I normally can't get to all of your questions on YouTube comments in the Twitch chat. There is a way that we can get them answered in priority sequence, and that is by coming on down to the Kill Pete Discord, putting your question in the priority Q&A if you're a server booster, or regular Q&A. I will answer it in sequence. Yeah, I kind of want to cap on my 3 for safety's sake. Or I could do the Alaska-Kamchatka thing. I don't hate the Kamchatka cap here. That's where we go. That's where we go. Kamchatka's out of the way enough. All right, settings. Let's start with that. We're playing Capital Conquest on Classic. Auto 60 Expert Neutral. Bot with fixed cards and nothing fancy. No fog, no blues, no portals, no alliances. I'm in the 4th position of 6, and I'm going to be playing my torture fixed capital settings, where we take a card and pass and play for second until we can play for first. So usually we end up getting second in these games. Sometimes we get a first. Very rarely do we get anything other than second. Okay? So starting with the priority Q&A, our most recent question in the priority that I have not addressed is from Tobias Maelstrom. Hi, Pete. I seen your video on philosophy about the guns thing. Oh my God, shoot me. And I don't mean it metaphorically, but we're going to talk about it because I completely failed in my job as a communicator to properly and intelligently discuss this topic. So Tobias says, are you of the mindset that a debate topic has to stay in the lines for the entire debate for the sake of the debate topic? Or are you of the mindset that there are anecdotes, references, and side topics adjacent to the primary topic that can be deemed useful, if not sometimes necessary, to help you reinforce your point? I'm curious because you seem a little perturbed at the gun debate. You started. No, I didn't start it. I'm in service when I answer people's questions. I am in service. So what I'm doing with this whole process is I am not asking these questions, I'm answering them. I don't have to. So I'm not starting any debates. When I start a debate, you'll know. What I mean by this is if you're not willing to expand a debate topic to incorporate many of the intricacies of the debate topic, then you've watered down and neutered any discourse that doesn't immediately align within your parameters, causing philosophical gatekeeping, bias, IMO, gotcha. So what I mean when I say I failed about the blues. Oh, I wish he lost. I would love to steal that. How much does he put down there? Hope it's a lot. 6. Can I roll a 9v6 cap? Am I the type of schmuck who wins a 9v6 cap, folks? Am I the type of guy who wins a 9v6 cap? No, I am not. Not today. Not today. But that definitely pissed off Blue. Okay, but Blue might eat a little shit from Magenta. Okay, cool. So here is the broad strokes of the whole conversation around gun control that I was trying to discuss and have thus far failed to do so. I have yet to stake a position on gun control. I don't actually have a position on gun control that I'm trying to sell to you, which I know you, the audience in general, might find hard to believe. But take me at my word. Let's just pretend I'm not lying to you. Take me, Magenta quits on the first turn. Take me at my word that I'm not lying to you, and let's pretend that I don't actually have a position and I'm interested in building a position. Okay. If I was honestly interested in building a position on gun control, the first thing I would do is I would try and find common ground. I would try and find a place where we could all agree on something and then build from that. Because that is how conversations actually occur in a meaningful way. So when you ask the question, are you of the mindset that a debate topic has to stay in the lines? This is a Weasley philosopher's answer, but depends on what you mean by in the lines, okay? So what I tried to do with my example was I said, what would be the bedrock logic of any conversation around gun control? For me, the bedrock logic would be, if we were to talk about guns specifically, let's assume guns are a problem, first of all. Let's assume we're not having a conversation about gun control if guns weren't a problem. So the fact that we are having a conversation around gun control indicates that guns might be a problem. If they were a problem, what would the base of the logic be? The base of the logic would be a world without guns would be better than a world with guns. And I'm not talking about the world that is, I'm talking about the fictional world that could be. Okay, very important distinction. If we were to intentionally design a system, we would need to, at its initial state, agree on something. So I am not having a conversation about gun control yet. I'm not having a conversation around guns yet. I'm having a conversation around logic. Okay? I feel like this was the part that was missed. If we cannot agree that the fictional world without guns would be better than this one with guns, where people are murdered by guns, then we are not yet having a meaningful conversation where meaning is exchanged. Right? If there isn't a logical ability to have a conversation, you see, I'm not yet talking about guns, right? I'm talking about logic. And I guess it is lost on me that so many people utterly lack ability with logic, right? If you cannot understand the fundamental premise that in order to have a conversation around a topic, the first thing we must do is agree on what the topic is. Then I can't talk to you, right? Then I just can't have a conversation. And I noticed the conversation around guns specifically got super deranged. So I guess this is why we're talking about it again, Tobias. And I would love to go into greater detail about it, but I don't want to derail the entire Q&A show talking about one topic. So suffice to say, I've yet to stake a public position on guns. I don't have a public position on guns. I would very much like to build one with you guys in conversation. But in order to do so, we have to find a position where we agree. And we have yet to do that. Okay, next question. He's staying on topic. Building off your original World Without Guns premise, would you trade a world of science and technology for one of magic and fantasy? Someone's calling me gutless? Well, I mean, you're just trying to get banned. Do not call names. Do not call names. It's not recommended. Okay. Building off your original World Without Guns premise, would you trade a world of science and technology for one of magic and fantasy? No. I don't think so. I don't really think it connects. Constructing a modern society where magic is the dominant driving force instead of technology. And where do you see yourself? Where do you place yourself in a modern magical fantasy world tending lawns with a firewall? I'm curious where your mind would go in constructing said society and then attempt to place yourself in some occupation. I think everyone would like to think they'd be hero or adventurer, but I'm of the mindset that there would be mages whose duty it is to simply transmute feces into food, or a man who fletches arrows all day for a king, etc. I think the answer to my answer to your question here is that I have committed myself to avoiding magical thinking as a virtue. So I don't really spend too much time and energy on this, right? On the idea of like if magic existed. Oh, I see what you did. It was autocorrect that ruined it. Gunless versus gutless. That's very funny. Yeah, man, right on. It's just so easy to be misunderstood on the internet. This is exactly why we're having this conversation at all. Wow, I have all my material on my capital. Let's watch these guys fight amongst themselves. I love this game already. We've lost a player. Okay, so I'm not particularly imaginative, Tobias, in a way that doesn't ultimately benefit me. One of the biggest and I think fairest criticisms of philosophy is that philosophy is a bunch of pedantic people smelling their own farts, mental masturbation. What's the point of it all? What is all this conversation for? And I do like to bring it back to reality. I like to bring it back to the whole point of having these conversations about ideas is to build a better world for ourselves, right? I like thinking about complicated and interesting ideas because I know it makes my mind sharper. It makes me better. It makes me live a better life, a higher quality life. It makes me more generous to others, more ethically acting, XYZ benefits. So given all of that, I don't have a great answer for your question because I spend a lot more time and energy focusing on the world that is and trying to critically understand it versus, what would I do if magic existed? I'd win the lottery and then fucking, live in my mansion with 6 beautiful swimsuit models who took turns banging me. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense, right? What would I do? I would do whatever I wanted. But the problem with whatever you want is that something given has no value and something earned very much does. So we focus on the world that is rather than the world that might be. And I'm sorry if that doesn't really answer your question well. Our third question from Tobias. We got 3 back to back to back. Is let me just play my turn, dude. Okay, we're gonna end up blocking off our cap at some point. But not yet. Okay. Do you feel that there's been an increase in the amount of ego or self-righteousness a lot of people put into almost every conversation compared to your younger days? No. Do you think there has been a cultural push towards putting emotion over logic and debates into arguments? Yes. So often I see people going back and forth and you can tell they're getting heated when in reality most time neither have had any weighable stake in either side of the debate or argument. Has that increased from younger days? No. Okay. So I think you might be conflating 2 different things. The ego and the self-righteousness thing, I think is consistent. I run into the same brick wall of misunderstanding that I always did historically. But as far as a cultural push towards putting emotion over logic in debates, I have noticed a rhetorical shift in the way our culture has dealt with arguments and disagreements, right? We've become more polarized over the course of my life, right? People tend to cluster in extreme camps more often. And one of the ways that manifests is by using hyperbole and rhetoric, right? And flowery language to try and, oh my God, to try and argue a position without having to come up with a good argument. So the conflation here is that I don't think there's more ego in people. I think there's the same amount, but we are further disconnected from our logical root. And that's actually one thing that I'm very motivated to bring back in my media project here, right? In the fact that I'm having a public conversation about ideas. So I would like to discuss things as intelligently as I can muster. All right. Our next question is from Bagel. Pete, have you read Dune? No. What do you think of Herbert's philosophy of the way the environment affects people and how the people affect the environment? It's clear with the Seleucus Secundus being a prison planet and being the trading grounds for the Emperor's death troop, Sardaukar, the fierce Fremen thriving on Arrakis by stating The strong survive these harsh environments and in turn turn them into the best fighters in the known universe opinions. Yeah, well, I mean, the old saying, right? Hard times make strong men make good times make weak men make hard times, and rinse and repeat, right? Like the metaphor is not lost on me. The idea that we are very much a product of our environment, and we are. I think the nature versus nurture debate is mostly solved in that regard, right? The question of, is it more nature or nurture that makes up you, makes up your body, makes up your personality, makes up your intelligence, your aptitudes, everything that goes into who you are. It's the vast majority of it is nature. So there's that, right? Next question, also from Bagel. Would you consider answering your favorite Q&A questions on shorts on your channel? Might not fit your normal method of answering questions. It could be another way to create those so desired shorts with quick, insightful answers to interesting questions. You could even go back to answer older questions for extra content, FAQ. Couple of problems with shorts. I don't edit, so I would have to pay someone to create these, which costs money. So shorts cost me something like $50 a piece. And they don't really make that back, right? Shorts aren't profitable in terms of ad revenue for YouTube. So what Drew has gotten me to do with shorts is to think of them as a promo for the show. So we advertise the Kill Pete strategy, and we're trying to use shorts more as a vehicle for that, right? How do we sell the channel to maybe a new viewer who doesn't know me? And I don't think my primary value add is philosophical, although you and I might agree that it should be. I think my primary value add is still risk related. So that's where and why most of the shorts tend to be of that caliber. Our next question is from Indoor Klimmert. Hi, Pete. What are your thoughts and views on AI and their future potential? 2 days ago, Sky News Australia had a conversation with a free-thinking AI, and it scared and excited me at the same time. In the video, it's mentioned that the latest version of ChatGPT has an estimated IQ of 155, and that's just insane. Long story short, I think the notion that human beings are going to create a technology that is more intelligent than ourselves is a certainty. I'll start with that. I think the way we have engaged with our technology thus far has been essentially an evolutionary process, right? As soon as we began wearing clothing and living in environments that we couldn't live without our technology, we became cyborgs. And now we currently exist with this brain, with this extension of our brain that sits outside of it, but we have the compendium of all human knowledge at our fingertips instantaneously, and just about every human being in our society walks around with this, and we think of it as normal. We don't think of it as cybernetic. So the transition from us creating tools to benefit us and us creating tools that then become our next stage in evolution, right? What do we evolve into? Do we evolve into some type of cyborg race that merges more and more and more with its technology? I would say probably yes. And AI is a piece of that puzzle. And I could happily say more about that, but it gets very fictional and strange sounding very quickly. Got another one from Bagel. Hi, Pete. Have you watched The Green Knight by David Lowery? Early in his quest, Gawain, our main character, explains that he is striving for greatness and is asked, why greatness? Why is goodness not enough? Why do we as humans frequently strive for greatness instead of goodness? Oh, I love that. Why do we strive for greatness instead of goodness? Hey, what's up, Hedden? Hedden 1. Hello, Pete. Recently started playing Risk. Was bad and struggling for a bit. Quickly wanted to improve the game. I found you on YouTube and your vids helped me a lot. Now I'm addicted. Welcome in. Welcome to the chat. Fantastic. All right. So why do we strive for greatness, not goodness? I don't know. I've never thought about it. Let me think about it. Why is goodness not enough? Like, the things that motivate us are tricky to understand, right? I think we, in Western culture, suffer from what Peter Joseph calls a value system disorder, which is a bad term, and I'm actively working on finding a replacement for it. And the way he uses the term is essentially to say that our values are super askew. And we don't take as the highest ethic harmony or a decent minimum or the lack of suffering from others, right? We don't see that as our greatest aim in life, and we should. So I think, why do we strive for greatness and not goodness? I think because our values are fucked. Oh, is he going to kill purple? He is going to kill purple. Yeah, loses 21. And kills magenta? I think blue overextended here. We're now in a 3-player game. Maybe he doesn't kill magenta. Hey, thank you, Justin. This is absolutely not progressive. This is a fixed capitals game. Yeah, our values are fucked. I think we'd be wise to recognize that and work on it. I fucking still dial it down and I get the horrible shite roll. That's not good. All right. Our next question from Quarantined. Hey, Pete, how's it going? I hope you're doing amazing. Back at you, bro. I wanted to ask you about something a little personal for me. Okay, maybe too much for the show, so don't feel the need to answer. Let me read it then. I'm happy to talk about it. I lose the 15 cap? Nah, he loses the 20. Poor Blue. This advantage is red here. Heavily. Okay. Quarantine says, I wanted to ask you about something a little personal for me, and maybe a bit much for the show, so don't feel the need to answer. On Thursday, it will be 4 years since I lost the 2 greatest friends I ever knew to a sudden car accident. I was only 14 at the time, and just beginning high school and my first job, and it put me into a depressive state that I didn't open up to anyone about. A state I was in for over 3 years. During my senior year, after several close calls with myself over those years, I finally started to heal on my own. God bless. Which is incredibly lucky for someone in my position. However, since then I don't feel as bad, but I don't really feel anything. Anhedonia, sure. I still hate myself over these years. I still have not fully reconciled with what happened, but I don't feel comfortable opening up about it IRL, not even to my family. Do you have any advice for someone in my position? Yes. The best thing I can say about this is, slams the cap. No. The best thing I can say about this is, when we are experiencing an emotion in our body, when we are thinking back to a memory or a time where we feel a strong emotion, that is an indication that we have not processed that emotion. So I think you owe it to yourself, and I do use that language. I use a duty language. You owe it to yourself because you're worth it, because you deserve it. The world needs you, and the world needs the best version of you. So you owe it to us. You owe it to everyone who's ever loved you. You owe it to your friends who are now lost to be the best version of yourself. And one of the ways you're going to do that is you're going to face these horrible feelings of being unworthy. You say, you hate myself for what? You're bearing guilt for what? Being left behind, right? Why was it them and not me? And you're saying you're experiencing anhedonia. You're experiencing a lack of pleasure or joy in life. What a horrible, horrible waste. And I have a ton of love and empathy for you, right? I wish you the best. I want to send you all of the love I can. But I cannot, and I do not presume to fix this for you, right? This is something that you very much have to fix yourself, and you have to do it by processing the hard emotions. You have to face it. You have to feel it. You have to feel it completely, and it's going to suck. It's going to be very hard. But at the end of it, you will be able to release those emotions in your body, and you will come out on the other side a more whole, complete, authentic version of yourself. And good luck. You know, I wish you find someone in your life you can talk to, because there's truly nothing like, you know, I'm a character on TV, right? Like, I'm a person, obviously, but you're not talking to a person right now. You're talking to a TV character. And as much as I can appreciate you and connect with you in this way, maybe intellectually, maybe virtually, I can't hold you. I can't give you a hug, right? I can't tell you that I love you and have you feel my energy. So that is a crucial piece of this puzzle. Find someone in your life that you can talk to, that's there for you, and that you're there for. And then slowly you can process these really hard feelings and get them out of your body and out of your subconscious and into the open, where you can face them and heal from them. Good luck. Great question. Okay. Whew, that was tough. That was a tough one, man. That was a tough one. Okay. Thank you, blah, 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 for 3 months. Keep up the awesome stream. I will try. I will try my best. Okay. See, red is super advanced now. I don't know how I'm going to get around that problem. Red's trying to break up North America, too, and I can't really stop them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Well, that's okay. I still get second on this board because I'm the only other player with 2 capitals. Okay. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Okay. So the last question in my regular Q&A was this one. Let me get to Aries now. So Aries the Fox has been asking, if you're not up to date on your Kill Pete and Free Pete, Aries the Fox has been asking a bunch of, I don't know why he knows I like Star Trek related questions. And this one is a fave, and I think this one is a bit of a gimme, but we'll go there. So, hey Pete, you are Captain Philippa Louvois, Judge, Advocate General for the system the Enterprise is currently in. Is Data property? For argument's sake, if he is you mean Admiral Louvois? For argument's sake, if he is property, it is the property of Starfleet or someone else. Oh, I see. Well, data was discovered on Omicron Theta, the colony that his creator had on Omicron Theta was destroyed, and all of the life was stripped bare from the planet. So data was discovered, and he wasn't activated right away. So I think if possession is still 9/10 of the law in the United Federation of Planets, then data would be considered the property of Starfleet, or at least the property of civil arm of the United Federation of Planets. But I figure data would be appropriated as property of Starfleet because he is considered high tech. So they would want to emulate his technology and build upon it and reproduce it. Is that all the question, though? I thought the discussion of whether or not data was a sentient life form was the more important part of that episode. But I guess Riker and Picard did a effective job at arguing those positions. All right. What's the question from Garth? Hey, Pete, you said in a recent video, the hardest to become Risk Grandmaster playing Classic Fix. Why do you think this is? Because the ranking system is broken. So the Risk ranking system doesn't really fairly distribute rank points. I think it's far too easy to get Grandmaster. I think it's far too easy to lose Grandmaster. And I think if the term is going to be thought of as a meaningful term at all, fundamental changes have to occur in the way ranking points are distributed. I think we need collab prevention. Classic Fix absolutely suffers from a horrible system where people collab against you. I think they also need to fix the possibility of scumbag botting. So there's a lot of problems with Classic Fix that make it really hard to rank up. There's the problem of any random noob can noob slam you at any time and make you lose and take you with them. So yeah, there's a number of issues. Areas following up. I'm wondering your thoughts on whether he's property or not. Given the advance in AI, at some point we'll have something that at least seems sentient. If that seemingly sentient AI tells us that it's alive, is it property? We have seemingly sentient animals on Earth today that we treat as property. So I don't think we are particularly good, and I don't think our rights-based legal system is particularly good at distinguishing that. And we also have people who still live in effective slavery just because they have the right to freedom. You try embodying your freedom when you're broke and you tell me how free you are. So I think we have these very high-minded ideas about what rights and freedoms are, but we don't necessarily embody them with our actions. The long and the short of it, the quick answer for you is yes. I think a Soong type android such as Data would eventually be thought of as a sentient life form and not a piece of machinery. And I think that is absolutely where truly intelligent technology will go in the future. Okay. Oh boy. Green just slammed into red. Quarantine says, I appreciate that a lot. My high school years were nothing short of terrible because of my mental state. Me too, man. I had a terrible time in high school. Me too. The Risk community helped me a lot in becoming a better version of myself. So thank you, and everyone else who's been kind. Why do you think I stuck around? Risk has given me so much. I love you guys. I try and tell you that I love you. I want you to know. I want you to feel it. I hope I say it enough. Red didn't take the cap. That's blue. Shitty trade. Shitty trade. No, he's got a good trade. Fuck. Blue has 2 caps now, too. Damn it. Or is blue going to try and kill green dead? That's stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. Lose big. Okay, 9, 8. Go off cap, try and kill green. No, he just takes the cap and splits to fortify. Better. No set. Kill green. I really want to, but I will. All right, we're now in a 3-player endgame. Red has a slight advantage. Blue having an advantage here might be good for me long term. But we'll have to see how the cookie crumbles. Okay. Our next question is from the general Q&A from James. What does Pete do for a living? Just interested because his videos, I can tell he's a very intelligent man. I don't know, man. I have some abilities, I have some disabilities, but my own kind of mental weirdness is fairly hard to measure. What do I do for a living? I have run a number of businesses pretty much for my entire adult life. I got started in landscaping, working for other people in my teen years, and then I worked 2 years with a partner. And then the current iteration of my company, I founded in 2006. I incorporated in 2008. We do lawn mowing. I worked my way up to a business with 450 clients in a week. Bunch of trucks, bunch of employees. It was an absolute miserable time. I hated it. I was spending as much money as I was making. My employees were shit and they were bringing me problems. It was an anxiety machine that I built for myself. So I got rid of all my employees. I currently work alone. I still have a piece of it I'm trying to sell. So I work part-time outside. I buy and sell collectibles. I've done that since high school. Action figures, vintage video games, Transformers, G.I. Joes. Manage my investments. And of course this. This is by far, my most successful project I've ever done. This. Right? Making television on the internet about a game. Whatever it takes for people to understand and appreciate my voice. I cannot believe that anyone would want to listen to me talk about this game, but yet they do, folks. So here we are. That's what I do for a living. I currently make 2 shows a day on YouTube. One on Free Pete, one on Kill Pete Strategy. And I try and do 2 to 3 hours a night on Twitch on weeknights. So that is a lot of work. I love doing it. I'm trying to make as much money as I can currently so I don't have to lose my home. And if my plan works, then hopefully in the next year-ish, I'll know. I have about a year to make what I need to make in order to not lose my home. And I've lived in this home for 12 years, something like that. And I would love to not be forced to move. So that's what I do for a living. This. It's fun. This is a really, really fun and meaningful job. And we dab on that. Blue likes it. T-Dog says, I'm just here for the push-ups. All right, we'll do the push-ups then. We'll do the push-ups. Take a break, folks. Move your body a little bit. If you're just sitting in your seat like me, take a moment, care for yourself, stretch, do a couple of push-ups. Oh. Pete, how long is your mortgage for? Got like 25 years left or something? Fun question, let's figure it out. Current term, 5 years. Remaining on the term is 3 years, 9 months. Remaining amortization, 23 years, 9 months. 23 years, 9 months, Bronson. I'm not trying to buy my whole house. I'm just trying to buy out my ex-wife. Top G pushes right there. Alf. Thank you. Thanks, man. All right, letting blue and red hit each other is music to my ears. Blue's keeping red down somewhat. Okay. Hobbs would like to know, hey, Pete. Been watching for about a year now, and I finally joined the Discord. Big fan, and I binge listen while studying all the time, especially the long-form games / philosophy. I'm currently about to enter clinic as a chiropractic grad student in St. Louis, where I grew up with my father as a chiropractor. After hearing about your tough work background and history with manual labor, I would love to hear your experience with chiropractic. No, never had any. Did you find any? None. My ex-wife was a OT. So I've done a lot of physio. I had another friend who was a physiotherapist, and all of her friends were physiotherapists. Never actually done chiropractic, so I have no position on it. Don't know if it works, don't know if it doesn't. Have nothing to say about it. Did the treatment plateau? The profession itself is rich in philosophy. I would love to hear whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Thanks, Bosch, man. Much love. Yeah, much love to you. Like, best of luck in your studies and in your profession. I should check it out, right? Maybe that's the Excalibur says, here's a position. Bend over. OMG. Uh-oh. Blue says, good game. Oh, no. Do we see the Susu studio? But both of my caps are locked, folks. But both of my caps are locked, folks. Thank you, Wanfla, with the sub. Thanks a lot. Okay. What's happening here? He keeps putting troops over there. I have Greenland or Earl. Earl, I think he'll give me Greenland. Now we got 269 caps, folks. Now we got 2. All right. Our next question is from Insert Gamer Tag here. Insert it where? Hey, Pete! Can you explain the psychology at play during Risk a bit? I'd love to. When should you antagonize an opponent to stop them from getting too strong and breaking them? And when should you try to keep out of everyone's way so they fight amongst each other? Great question. This is exactly the situation we find ourselves in right now. Okay, Red's going to hit my 15. He doesn't want me building up. Okay, he opened my capital. Now I can help Blue. Yeah. Blue says, thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. I want to help Blue. Ha! He quit! Oh, he quit! I'm in a 1v1 with Blue, and I outnumber him by 50 troops, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, get the fuck out of here. He quit! Ha ha ha! Good game, Mr. Bluefus. You shouldn't open my caps. Sorry, folks. I have a chance to win this game, so now I'm going to focus on the game. I would love to have gotten to more questions, though. It goes off cap to hit my stack. He knows how to play. This man knows how to play, ladies and gentlemen. This man knows how to play. I like that a lot. Good job. Oh, but I didn't connect through Siberia, which I needed to do. That was an error. All right, I can do that next turn, though. Don't think he opens the cap, right? He opens the cap again. Ooh, you're going to try and hit it? There's no chance. 25v18 is not going to work. You don't roll 1 into a 3 cap. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I fucked up the split, Red Apple. I need to connect through here, right? To open my capital troops to the other capital. It's also, this is not progressive. This is fixed capitals. Yeah. Well, he yields now from that. That's a yield. Yeah. 100 to 40. This is game. All right, man. Well, we got the W. I wish I got more questions in though. How do we get on the recording? We got 50 minutes in. I can do another one another time. Folks, thanks for watching. And there you have it. Why are you playing fixed caps? Yeah, so I can focus on the questions and not the game. I'm not usually winning these games. I'm usually coming in second, but that one left me the opportunity. So GG Grouchy! Mr. Grouchy Man! Didn't seem all grouchy. Seemed like he was having a good time. Folks, thanks for watching. I'm going to end on YouTube. We're going to stick around on Twitch. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channels. Come along the ride with me. I have a daily release on YouTube. I do weeknight streams on Twitch. And for all of you on the path to world domination, good games and good luck.